And hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Janchi Show. What?
Your waveform is straight up a solid brick.
Super hot.
Right,
Not just for that one part. Just
hello, everyone.
hot
Welcome back to the Janchi Show.
It's the same.
I don't know.
Your other parts are fine.
I think it's fine. It's fine.
You just turn it down a little bit.
What about his last episode? Because I noticed that on the last episode too.
Oh my god. Fine. I'll turn it down. Jeez.
It's fine. All you do is just mess around with the settings and the thing. Just tweak it a little bit, and then it sounds fine.
That's too low. I don't like that. That was too many notches. That was the same.
That's too many notches.
That's one notch down. Okay.
You're listening to the Janchi Show, hosted by 3 Korean American adoptees diving headfirst into what it means to be adopted, Korean, American, and more. And now, here's your hosts, Nathan, Patrick, and KJ.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Janchi Show. This is the show where myself and 2 other Korean adoptee males whine about my waveforms. How are we doing, fellas?
We were just concerned.
Doing better now that you've turned your waveform down to an appropriate level.
Okay.
Yeah. Your waveform was yelling at us.
I did feel attacked and intimidated by your
Stop
waveform.
body shaming my waveform.
No, it's a thick waveform. It's good thick, but it's just intimidating.
But like, how many C's are we talking?
I'm talking like
Listeners at
6
home.
C's.
Okay.
6 cc's of that thickness.
6
on your
C's of that thickness.
I don't know if that's a lot.
Body, addy. All right. I just realized last episode, I don't think we ever stated who we are, why we call ourselves the Janchi Show. So we're going to do this at the top of this episode. Nathan, who are we? Why do we call ourselves the Janchi Show?
Well, it's because we are 3 Korean American adoptees spread out over the country. And we are celebrating our Korean adoption heritage and stories and experiences and life changes. I don't know why there was a question on the back of that, but
And what's Janchi mean?
Janchi means to feast or celebrate, and we feast and celebrate, literally at the end of the show. But, we are feasting on information. Right
Wow.
now. How about that?
Yeah.
I've heard better.
Okay.
Damn. Came for him hard.
He did better last episode. He had a great joke that neither of us remember technically at the moment.
He did have a great joke last episode.
Okay, I can give you some holiday jokes since it is the holiday time.
All right, you get one holiday joke.
You get
Oh, gosh.
For now.
All right, what kind of music do elves listen to? Rap music.
Yeah, gosh.
Sorry. Yeah. If only there was a
They
hook
liked it.
right here pulling me off there.
What?
Sorry, is
Just
that
like the old timey.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking
Like
about.
a shepherd's hook?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, well, I
imagine-
feel like that joke just crushed all the momentum we had coming out of that excellent explanation of what Janchi meant. What are we talking about?
But it is the holidays. So I know, to preface, I guess, the remaining rest of 2022, we will be taking a short break.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the last episode of 2022.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, it is, right?
What? Was this news to you that we just talked about it like 5 minutes ago?
Patrick is like, wait, we're finishing? We're ending the show? This is it?
This is the end of the show?
Wow.
All right.
For 2022.
Yep.
Okay. That's cool. I'm cool with that break.
Yeah.
Good with that break?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for agreeing to a thing that you already agreed to.
You're very
5
welcome.
minutes ago.
No,
late.
yeah. I mean, I'm excited. It's happy Christmas. Happy Christmas if you celebrate. Merry Hanukkah if you celebrate that. Shouts out to other people who celebrate around the month of December. Hilariously, I was getting my teeth cleaned the other day, and she was like, "This is the lady who was cleaning my teeth was like, oh hey, are you excited for the holidays? Whatever." And like, yeah. Do you celebrate Christmas? And she's like, no, I'm Muslim, specifically Shiite Muslim. And so she was like, yeah, so we like celebrate like the Islamic Pope's birthday, which is in December. But then like, so she was like, my family doesn't celebrate Christmas, but my kids really want to. They still want the presents. They still want the the lights and all that stuff. And I was like, man, what a wild time. Like, I mean, just to be like really devout in a totally different faith, but then be surrounded by, I know that a lot of people talk about this online, but like just anecdotally, like in person, from a mother's perspective, I think to hear like, yeah, like I'm Muslim, my family's Muslim, but then also like my kids really want Christmas still. And I was like, the double world of it. And then I was like, I wonder what Christmas would be like if it was just purely like a secular, like, I guess for lack of a better whatever, just like an American holiday with no religious connotation. Sounds really interesting. I don't know. What is the thing for both of you? What's the thing that makes it feel like holiday season? Like, is there like one thing that triggers, they're like, it's time?
Well, I noticed that since I moved back to California, the Christmas lights came up a lot earlier than they did in California.
Colorado, California.
Yeah. So, Colorado, the lights came up a lot quicker. Right.
Gotcha.
So I can only assume that they are more into putting up their Christmas lights here. Maybe that means they're more Christian. Maybe that means they're, I don't know. Honestly,
Christmas lights denote
more
Christianity.
I hope it does.
Well, not necessarily.
I'm going to be super Christian. I'm going to put up so many lights.
So that's the thing. I mean, I sometimes wonder about that. I wonder when I see houses that don't have Christmas lights, I'm like wondering if they don't celebrate any holidays. No, because
have
Hanukkah,
you heard of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
I know people who
Why
are
are you hanging up
Jewish.
these Christmas lights?
Well, they're hanging up. Well, see, that's the thing. Is they're not technically Christmas lights; they're holiday lights. I should really call them, because some of our Jewish neighbors have the white and blue lights up, and say Happy Hanukkah outside. So the lights are, you can tell, Hanukkah based. So again, I don't know. Are there specific lights and colors for Kwanzaa for everything? I don't know. I mean, but you're right. I shouldn't call them Christmas lights, really, technically. So,
well, I mean, it's probably on the box. It says Christmas lights. Actually, I wonder what it says on the box
for Hanukkah lights,
or it might say just like any string lights, I guess, that are sold around this time of the year.
I don't know. I haven't.
That probably string lights, very long time, if I had to guess.
So. If
KJ is looking it up right now
and actually started saying holiday lights or just LED lights.
We just call them lights, I guess.
Multicolor.
Put the lights up.
Put the lights up. The festive lights up.
The festive lights up. There we go. I like that.
Sure.
For the festive season. You put your lights up for 4th of July. You put your lights up for MLK Day. You put your lights up for Veterans Day.
Put them up. Don't take them down. That's what I say.
That's why we get color changing lights.
Totally. I mean,
leave them
there's
up.
So many companies that do permanent installations now. So,
my trigger for holiday season is pretty much the week that Thanksgiving falls on. I feel like that from that point to the end of, or the beginning of the following year, is pretty much the holiday season for me. So, I'm really trying to. I don't, I guess, anymore celebrate Thanksgiving. I'll go to the get-togethers, but I don't celebrate that as a holiday. I wouldn't technically say that I celebrate Christmas anymore. It's more of like a getting together, and we do like Christmassy things, but I'm not like, I don't know. I'm like what you were saying, Nathan. I've been referring to it more as just an overall holiday and the holidays, as opposed to like me personally doing one thing or the other. I think I just go and be with family, and the holiday season is times to be able to do that for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is that because do you feel guilty, or I mean, what is the reason for not calling it like Christmas specifically?
I don't think I feel guilty at all. Yeah, I just think that
he doesn't have any lights on his house, so you know that he's not Christian.
I don't have any lights on the house.
So when I say, I meant
this
guilt
house that
out
you
of
just moved into.
I have my own guilt. I guess I was projecting there. So I feel guilty about celebrating it because I haven't even really explained how it originated to my kids as a religious holiday. So sometimes I feel guilty calling it Christmas and celebrating it as Christmas when I haven't even told them the origin of it. And so that's what I was kind of, I guess,
Sure.
hinting at is there something along the lines of why you don't want to celebrate it as Christmas?
Well, I think it's like, the word Christmas carries the materialistic version of or sense of the holiday to me, I guess. I don't necessarily take it as like, oh, Jesus's birthday or whatever it is in Christianity, I guess, or celebrated in that way. And like you, Nathan, I guess that I really don't know the full origin of Christmas, but to me, for what Christmas has always been to me, it's just been, and especially since my grandma's passed away, it's just like a time where it's just reflecting on it. It's just always been a time of like stuff. And like, I don't know. I'm just not about the stuff. And it just feels, and it can feel really overwhelming with gift giving and the act of like buying things for people. When at the end of the day, I feel like people, for me, I just want to be around like my family and my friends and be able to just chill. Because again, it's like also the holidays are times where you're going to get set time off of work. So to be able to go do that stuff.
Well,
and
your Christian holidays.
You're Christian. Exactly. And I guess that's another reason, like, I don't, and I don't think it's coming from a guilt place, but like Christmas is so domineering in America, I guess. And it just feels like it does feel very othering, I think, to other religions and other holidays and things that are observed.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'll do away with all that because it's just never been my speed anyways.
Wow. How dare you start a war on Christmas? You heard it here
Put me
first.
on Fox News.
Patrick starting the war on Christmas. Not the person who's declaring war. No. Patrick started it.
I've literally started it.
Single-handedly.
Single-handedly.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. So you said you're overwhelmed by like the stuff of Christmas. Do you mean
it can be overwhelming?
Like the doing the stuff, not just like the actual like material buying stuff?
No, it's like more of the material buying stuff. I'm not overwhelmed by the doing.
I think we've talked about you and I are bad at gift giving, so I can understand how Christmas would be like super overwhelming because it's one of 2 times a year when you really have to think about giving gifts to people. So,
well, it feels almost obligatory in certain senses, even with like friends sometimes, and I don't know why, because none of my friends have ever asked me, "Hey, get me a gift," or like were mad at me for not giving them a gift. But I don't know. I think especially as it getting older, and it's like, families and stuff, and people are like, send you the card and like send me your address so I can send you the holiday card and all of this.
Nathan.
Hey, speaking of which, this is probably a good time to mention that I only got you guys cards, so no gifts this year. You're welcome.
How dare you only get us cards and not buy our snacks for the entire show entire time that we've been doing the show?
Well, if you want to consider the snacks a gift, sure, go ahead.
I
consider them part of the show.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, the gift part of the show.
It is a gift. No, 100% a gift. Because then I don't have to go out and try and find them. Because that was a nightmare.
That's year round. That's okay.
When we had to individually go out and try and find the foods, that was a nightmare.
I know.
That's the gift that I'm giving to myself, is remembering that when we used to do that and knowing we don't have to anymore.
The gift of gratefulness.
The gift of gratefulness. What a gift. What a gift. Well, I don't even know what I was talking about. It's fine.
No, I mean, we were just talking about gift giving and being overwhelmed. But I think too, like, I don't know, like it's interesting because of that conversation. I really have tried to separate out what other people would experience at this time from my own experience and what it is to participate in like the purely American sensibility of Christmas, which of course is rooted in religiosity, but I think extends beyond that. So I think like for Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or the Pope of Islam's birthday, whatever, like, or even just like the month of December, that you can enter into American culture by putting up lights in your house, by having a tree in your house, by giving gifts, any of those things. You're just getting time off is interesting and maybe needs no further religious context. I mean, you can give that if you want, but I think of it too as like not many people, at least not many Protestant non-Irish people that I know personally also know why people celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So in that sense, like it's pretty, at least in my circles, I don't know what a less nerdy term is, but in my circles, zeitgeist, like I don't know that anyone knows what like St. Patrick's Day is, and besides the fact that it starts with Saint, like would not guess necessarily that it's a religious holiday. There's also like a similar argument for Valentine. I think there's a Saint Valentine in there, Saint Nick around. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that I think are devoid of religiosity that I don't know that it's entirely the worst thing to say. Like I celebrate Christmas generally in the way that all of America does.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess I could say that I celebrate it in that way, but I don't necessarily think of myself as celebrating it in that way. But that is in the action of it. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
I had a random thought too. I was talking to my wife about it, but in Korea, because they celebrate Christmas in Korea, what do you think Koreans think Santa looks like?
I'm gonna Google it.
KJ's Googling it.
I'm just curious what you guys would think. I mean, you know how, I mean, we obviously have an image of a white guy with the big white beard, jolly, big stomach, right? Does any other country think of Santa as a completely different imagery?
Like, what's their, well, how do they?
Yeah.
KJ's making some faces.
I have Googled Santa. Oh, I see. Okay, no, that's okay. So in the well, I don't remember. Oh my god, my words. In the just like the English version of the Korean, it says Santa Kulusu, and I was like, what? But then I see the Korean, the Hangul, and it's Kulosu. So Santa Kolosu, or what I think is more interesting, Santa Haraboji. So like Santa grandfather. So I think there's like a familial kind of thing. He maybe wears more green than. I see. South Korean Santa wears mainly green or blue, occasionally red. He's never without his top hat or got.
A top hat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's just a Korean flavored Santa.
Right. No, I just randomly curious, just because, you know, I mean, we all have images in our head from what we've known and what we've raised. But I was always wondering about, you know, because Christianity has developed so much in Korea, did they kind of adopt the big white guy and a white beard kind of thing, or did they create their own? So
yeah, I don't know. Any Christian native Koreans out there, hit us up. Or just like, I guess, overseas Korean Americans, hit us up. Or overseas Americans. You know, just hit us up. Yeah.
Just whoever's listening.
I realize just as long as you live in Korea and can snag a photo and send it to us, hit us up. I remember seeing an interview on some late night show with some Australian actor, and they talked about Santa because obviously it's summertime. So like Santa was a dude wearing sunglasses. He still had his like hat. But he was like on a surfboard.
Surfing Santa.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know.
Pretty sure there's a
that is interesting. Do you think he gets around faster on the surfboard or in the sleigh with the reindeer?
Maybe he starts Christmas Day that way, and then he kicks everything off in Australia, and then moves around the globe.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense that he would switch on because it's implausible to think that the reindeer can do all of that work. In that time frame.
Yeah,
he's got to give him a rest.
It's a giant wave of holiday spirit.
That's true. Like in Elf. Wait, is it Elf where they sing and power the sleigh up?
There you go. Yep. Holiday spirit.
The holiday spirit.
But,
the specific triggers for me, going back to my original question.
Oh yeah, we're terrible about re-asking you your question.
No, that's okay.
I'm
just here to facilitate conversation.
I appreciate it.
The triggers for me are, I think I'm going to talk about this, but when this is like late in the game, but smelling tamales and chili, because my family always does that, which is like a Mexican tradition, but my grandpa grew up near the border, so we like took that into our own family tradition. That's like a particular smell that's like, oh, it's Christmas time. There's some musics that make me think of it, but a lot of Christmas music the past 2 years, last year more so than this year, I've just been like, ugh, I don't want to do this. But there are some tunes that I'm like, oh yeah, this makes me feel like Christmas. Or we just did like a Lessons and Carols worship service at the church. So like a lot of my Christmas traditions are around Christianity. So sometimes entering into those rhythms is like really helpful, and other times I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is, whatever. But especially like I will always think of tamales and chili as like that specific trigger. But we have that on Christmas Eve, so it's like super late in the game. But that's like that's exciting.
Yeah, it's like a tradition. Like we always had, always went to my grandma's house on Christmas Eve, and I don't know if there was one specific smell, because I feel like we ate the same food at Thanksgiving as we did at Christmas. I felt like it was all the same.
Oh, so you have turkey for Christmas?
We did usually, I think, had some turkey, some chicken, chicken and noodles.
We always did turkey at Thanksgiving and ham for Christmas.
Oh, for sure, some ham.
Yeah. Some of my relatives do roast beef, like prime rib.
Green bean casserole. That's always something that makes me think of it.
For breakfast for Christmas, I want to say almost every year ever, we've always had kringle, which is from Wisconsin. It's like a Danish. It's a big oval.
Kringle, you said?
Kringle.
Yeah. Kringle. Not Kris Kringle. Kris Kringle.
Kringle.
It's a Northern European pastry, a variety of pretzel.
Yeah.
Pretzels were introduced by Roman Catholic monks in the 13th century in Denmark, and from there they spread throughout Scandinavia and evolved into several kinds of sweet, salty, or filled pastries, all in the shape of a kringle. The judges would like you to make 12 individually baked kringles. You have 4.5 hours. On your mark, get set, bake.
Yeah. Bake. So we always got the pecan filling, cherry, raspberry. But last year I was introduced to another company in Green Bay that makes a thicker kringle.
Ooh.
And it's kind of shaped like a heart.
How many C's we talking?
It's, oh my. It is, one of the C's in this kringle is sea salt. And it's a sea salt caramel kringle.
No!
Hit him with it now. Yes.
Oh, gosh.
It's so
good. Goodness.
That's funny. We do always have, my mom would always make a breakfast casserole for Christmas Day. And we would eat that. And then we would go to the various gatherings that we would need to go to.
Yeah.
So that's a good one to remember.
Egg casserole and coffee cake were the ones for me. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I remember vividly a sharp change from just being up early and just waiting impatiently to being up early when I started drinking coffee and just making coffee and just being super chill about it. I don't know. It just made me think of that, but I was just like, that's another tradition. It was just the brewing of coffee.
Did you ever see I think it was a Saturday Night Live skit with Matt Damon where they were opening presents, and it shows like this whole like they're all happy at the very beginning, and then it shows the reality of what the Christmas morning is like with kids. And it's pretty funny. I'll have to send it to you. I don't want to spoil it. It's funny because it's very true, where you're trying to be, this is like the best, day ever, and then it just goes into all the chaos of kids throwing things everywhere, food, relatives, just the chaos of it all. And so it's interesting. It is a busy day. So
we might have talked about this before on a previous holiday episode, but I'm going to ask again, especially as we go through the apocalypse and we're come out the other side now, and we go through these things like holidays. I feel like for a lot of adoptees, traditions can change or shift, especially when you have your own families. Nathan, have you found over the last couple years that any of your traditions have changed, or you've thought about changing, or are there things that you are thinking about incorporating that you hadn't thought about before?
Well, Allison and I have talked about not giving as many gifts and giving more experiences. So like you were saying, kind of to the materialistic side of things is spending less money on it, because I think last year I'm guilty. I may have gone a little crazy and bought a few too many gifts for the kids.
Oh, Nathan's got the 25 limit and he's going way over.
Yeah, but we're coming out of a pandemic and I'm just like, woohoo! Here's
not even their
gifts for everybody.
Kids. They're just giving
gifts to everybody at that point. Yeah. But we're trying to limit it a lot more, and then of course do a little bit of the experience based gifts as well. So like trips or things like that. And I won't spoil what my parents are getting, but it is more of an experience.
I thought you were about to say it.
No,
I think we'd say it and then bleep it out.
That's true.
And then, I mean, that's kind of mainly one of the things that we're doing. But what about you?
I don't know. I mean, I think I talked about it when we were talking around Thanksgiving about like I don't know, Emily and I are talking about doing new traditions. Just don't know exactly what that is yet. Obviously, moving into a new home and talking about starting a family, like those are the kickstarting those things. But, I don't know if we've necessarily changed a whole bunch. I think our families have changed even over the last few years, where the things that we normally would do, we no longer do. So like people aren't here in our families anymore, so necessitating to go to this place or that place. And so I think that has changed. I think it's just a mindset around the holiday season. For me personally has been the biggest shift, and thinking about what I want to do. And I think, again, to your point, Nathan, about experiences, I think just wanting to really be intentional and relishing that time and maximizing the time spent with the people that I love during these periods that we're able to do that. So,
all right, I'll be there.
All right, cool. I already bought you a ticket.
Oh, generosity.
Hey, your tickets are in the mail.
That
just kidding.
Insecure.
What about you, KJ?
Will get lost.
I know that I feel like you've talked about, and we've talked about a little bit, like your deconstruction period, and then you kind of alluded to it earlier, but a lot of those traditions being tied up in the Christian version of Christmas.
Yeah. So I was just thinking about this. I guess to the original prompt, I'm not really, I mean, like Christmas is fine. I'm excited for like time off and just to rest a little bit. I say that now, especially because I woke up, I went to bed very early. So I woke up appropriately. Like I got enough sleep, but it's very early. So now I'm very tired, so I'm like very excited for bed and rest. But I'm more excited about trying to connect with Jennifer over like New Year's and like having like a Korean New Year's than I am about Christmas or any of those kinds of things. And I think part of that is like I've been craving some Korean like soups and stews. Part of that I think was our interview last week with Kim, and just like, the way that she was so welcomed in by an adoptee community, and they didn't need to talk about anything, but so just that opportunity. Like I have appreciated being here in Dallas near my family. Sarah's sister moved. She actually just got a house like basically just down the road from us. And so being able to like incorporate more family stuff, but then also being able to incorporate like more Korean stuff is really exciting to me. So more than even Christmas and stuff, like really looking forward to New Year's. But I think the other bit of deconstructing and then reconstructing, which now that I have a minute, I'm trying to do, is not being ashamed or apologetic about having like Christian traditions and like being like in the Christmas space or any of those kinds of things, but also just being aware that it's not for everyone. I think for a long time, in my hyper awareness of other people, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I am the majority. I am the issue. I am the, whatever. And actually, like realistically, I don't have to own all of that stuff all of the time if I'm not actually like a part of that problem. And if I'm not actually like taking up space where someone else needs it, or any of the, any of those kinds of things. So I think part of that moving back to continued self-love and self-acceptance is just like, this is who I am, and it's okay for me to be this. And I don't have to be ashamed or apologetic or any of those things. I can just be that, and then also genuinely be, because I am just genuinely be more interested in what other people are doing in the holidays. Like I'm more than happy to be like, Christmas, you get it, whatever. I'm more curious about you,
Right.
So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to do that more, and to practice being okay with who I am, where I come from, and what that means for me going forward. So,
we joke about being bad at gift giving, or maybe not joke, but state the fact that we're not good at it.
Fairly earnest for me. Yeah.
But I was saying, just listening to you share that there, it just made me think about like we have to learn to be able to give gifts to ourselves, and like the things that you're talking about are kind of like gifts to yourself to be able to like do these things finally, and focus on these things to be able to then go out and not necessarily give gifts, but just live life the way that you want to live it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And scene.
Yeah, I was actually last thing I was going to say on Christmas. I need to ask my biological family what they do. Because
dude, you could just ask them for a picture of Santa. What the heck?
I know.
Why didn't you just say like I know people over there?
Well, that's a new.
You could have said that.
I mean, like I said, I just started talking about this a couple days ago. So
gotcha.
I haven't had time to think of a way of emailing or messaging them. Hey, what do you think Santa looks like?
Just send me a picture of Santa, please. Korean Santa.
Yeah, and it's funny. I photoshopped my face. So here's a joke. Again, we're briefly talking about this earlier about making jokes about ourselves or about when we were uncomfortable and things like that. When I was little, at high school, I actually photoshopped myself. When I learned how to Photoshop, I photoshopped my face onto a Santa Claus. And I want to say I put a title on it and I put it on my wall. It's just like, because I just like to make graphics and things like that. I said, this is what Koreans think Santa looks like. But it was my face on the Santa. And I think back to that going, and I don't know. I mean, there's probably some truth to that maybe I was just trying to discover more identity at that time. By projecting my image onto a white character. But of course, making it as more of a joke at the time. So,
did your face Photoshop on underneath the beard or over the top of the beard?
Yeah, underneath. I Photoshopped a beard onto myself as well to make it look.
All right.
It wasn't just a cutout paste and glue kind of a thing. Trying to learn Photoshop at the time. I put my face on a lot of other characters too, and I won't go into that.
Here's a Korean Sailor Moon.
Here's Korean Garfield.
Here's Korean.
Here's
Korean Dilbert.
Here's Liu Kang, but me because I have more abs.
Yeah, here's an Asian character as another Asian
character. As a different Asian.
Yeah.
Here's a Japanese animation as me.
As not a Korean person.
Live action. Yeah. No, that's interesting. I was thinking about that too. Like, that's something that I think especially as I listen to the Avatar: The Last Airbender podcast, like rewatch podcast, one of the things that they do is they have, cast on the show and creators and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that everyone generally of the Asian persuasion hails for Avatar is, even though it's created by two white guys, it's really like done with a lot of reverence and respect for like cultures, and you can tell like how much they care about it. And like, it's generally like, it really does pay homage to those things without being appropriation-y. But like how much translation we have had to do in our lives to see that representation, and the way that like, if we were to ever try to dress up as someone, and this, I think we probably talked about this in Halloween, like we were always like, well, we're the Asian Superman, or we're the Asian Santa Claus, or we're the Korean Japanese cartoon, whatever that is. And how from a white gaze, you're like, well, that's obviously wrong.
Right.
But let it slide because that's the best you can do.
Right.
And how much then that we probably internalize that we're obviously wrong and it's the best we can do because we just never saw ourselves in things, which I think is really interesting. Then when it comes around like holiday iconography, like why, again, just leaning on Christmas iconography, like all the elves be white. Why they got to be like that, But then like you see like a black elf, and either it's super problematic and that should never happen, or everyone just goes, ha ha ha, that's wrong. But I guess it's the best you can, you know what I mean? Like, and so just that way of, again, I think decentering whiteness, decentering Christianity and whatever, but also just the importance of like, I've tried to to really codify why representation matters so much on screen and in books and those kinds of things, like why it's so important. And like, because it's like, it's a thing that I feel and I had no words for, but I think it's just like, it's because it quite literally validates my experience.
Right.
It quite literally, not my experience, sorry, my existence. It quite literally validates my existence. And so then I think like, you know, I made a joke about it earlier, but just being mindful that there are in fact other holidays. No one on this podcast is trying to start a war against Christmas, but just being mindful of those things, and as much as you can to, all right, Patrick, I see those shady eyes. You know, like to be able to just say like, yeah, I'm genuinely interested to hear like what December rhythms exist for a Shiite Muslim. I'd love to hear what December rhythms exist for a Sunni Muslim, if any, you know, or for someone in the Hindi religion, or Hindi's the language, Hindu religion, you know, like all those kinds of things. Like I'm curious about it. Or like if you're just, I don't know, generally mystic, like what mysticisms, whether that's kind of broadly on the earth sphere or like greater cosmology, like what that means. I'm good at talking, shut up. You know, like all those things. It gives me such an opportunity to learn. And yeah, so.
Well, it just grows your world out. You know what I mean? And it's like, I completely agree and really resonate with just like that, how you're codifying like what representation means and why it matters is because it validates your existence. And it's like, that's all we want. And certain people just don't understand like why that is important. And it's because they've only ever been represented on the screen. They only have ever seen their self exist as the best, the brightest, the peak in a way that was like, this is what you can achieve, versus like a black person or Asian person when they're portrayed as the best or the brightest or whatever. It's like, this is the model minority, or this is like the one of one, or whatever the case might be.
It's the exception that makes the rule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like, you know, white people in other spaces where like they have not historically been, has been fine. Whether it's white people in blackface or just white people in like I don't know, like I think about like, I don't know why this comes to mind, but like Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai, and you're like, no, that's fine. A white guy can do anything. So it's fine. Like that's not like representation isn't a two-way street. Like there's no way really, I think, for a white person to be like, look, I've stepped into this other culture and I clearly do not belong. They're just like, no, yeah, that's fine. I'll just figure it out. And you're like, what?
Right.
So.
Yeah. I hate it when they argue about the, you know, seeing an image and go, that's not how it goes. Like this is not real. This is a story. It's not. There's not any way how it goes. It can be adapted.
Ariel's not black.
I know.
Wait a second. She's a mermaid.
Yeah, she's a mermaid.
She's a fictional character.
And then even going into the depths of arguing that, you know, the sunlight wouldn't change the color of her skin underwater because light doesn't go as far.
And you're like, you're not wrong. Also, Flounder doesn't speak English.
Writing whole thesis on.
You're like, no, the Earth is flat. Really, what does it sit on? Turtles.
So we're gonna bring science.
What's that turtle sit on? Turtles all the way down, baby.
Turtles all the way down, baby.
It's very ridiculous, but yeah, but it's getting better, and that is all that matters, right?
Yeah, because we exist. We out here. We doing the work. No one else is.
We exist now.
No one else is doing the representation.
My Korean Santa photo was ahead of its time. There could really be a Korean Santa.
Over the beard Photoshop.
Yep, that's what I mean. No one else. It's just the Janchi Boys holding down the fort.
We're leading the charge.
For all
Stop
people.
saying all of this.
Yeah. Is this problematic? Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
I think I'm crushing it. I don't know.
Podcast hosts claim to be leading the charge
for all of representation.
All representation.
Yep.
So since we're rounding it all up here, what are you looking forward to the new year, since that is right around the corner as well? 2023. What are you going to do, KJ?
I'm excited to explore some new rhythms. I'll be working from home mostly, which is exciting because I really enjoyed working from home with Sarah. I didn't enjoy the particular living space we had when we were doing it last time. So, I honestly haven't even thought about like New Year's resolutions, but I think just pursuing health. I'm excited to just be and to be able to support her as she looks to grow her business and do all these things, just like she supported me to help me make my career change and do those things. I'm just excited for balance, for some responsibility shifting, just as things change. And I'm looking. I don't know. I don't have any big grandiose plans for 2023 except traveling probably to many places
Korea.
and beyond. Yeah, maybe. But I'm looking forward to it. I think 2023 will be a fun year.
Nice. With that new job.
Yeah.
He got a new job.
I got run over by a Lexus.
Patrick, what do you looking forward to?
2023, more like 2020 me. Because that's what I'm thinking about. Like, no, I
know.
That's what somebody says when they're feeling. They're like really trying their best to lie to themselves.
I'm just trying to live.
I'm not trying to. I don't want to poop on your parade.
Life.
Yeah,
my parade is made of poop now. I don't know. I agree. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to balance and new rhythms for sure. Trying to grow my own business. Trying to, just do that and just continue to grow. I feel like last year I can now remember that we were talking about what the previous years were. And I think this was for me the year of more again. And and I think next year will be the year of even more also. So wow. I'm excited I'm excited for more. I feel like it's going to be a lot. It's going to be very busy but it's exciting. It's scary and exciting, I think. So
yeah, shoot, man, I forgot that this year was my year of more. I don't think I succeed. Well, I succeeded in that for maybe a bit, but then not. But 2023, I'm calling year of balance.
The year of balance
in the force.
Balance in the force.
Yep.
All right, Nathan.
Well, now Nathan's thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I was like, I threw that question out, but I was like, I didn't really even have an answer myself yet.
That's why I'm okay when you never toss a question back at me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm just here to ask questions. You do the talking.
I mean, definitely still changing. I mean, especially with kids, things change so frequently. Robin's going to start going to preschool.
Whoa.
Yeah. Kelvin still at the new school, and Grayson will start in that new school in next fall. Hopefully, fingers crossed that he goes to the same school. I think they will. And then, traveling as well. So seeing some new sites. I want to do something different with the family. We've talked about some road trips, of course, some trips back to California. And I mean, it's I'm going to say it's not about really balance would be nice. I don't want to be too optimistic.
I don't want to be optimistic.
I want to be optimistic,
being
but I also want to be
sucks.
a realist. So I know balance is very hard sometimes. So it's about, keeping everything real, having time to do the things I need to do with the family and not choke and cough.
On that point, I was going to say that my hope for your family is minimal sickness.
Yeah, dude.
The health would be a good one, I think. If we can stay healthy next year more so, then that would be great. But it was a transition. I mean, we were all coming off COVID. I mean, this year we did get COVID. So it was a unfortunate,
How dare you?
Health year. So
how dare you be alive?
How dare you contract COVID and survive it?
Dare I finally get it after 3 years? But no. Maintain and tread water.
Survive, baby.
I'm gonna
survive and not be optimistic about it.
Right. I'm gonna be real about it.
Are we doing?
I want to be optimistic. We have time for a quick one, probably. Yeah. If you guys found that other snack, I think the right next to it is this other snack that we can do pretty quickly.
Okay, great.
All right.
Let's do a snack.
Let's do a snack. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Snackville, Janchi Show, Population Us.
Wow, that was. You guys are complaining about my waveform earlier. Jeez,
That made me
coming in
cry.
hot?
got
All right.
blasted in the ear holes by Nathan's waveform.
My ear holes.
Sorry, coming in hot because we have a item that is not hot, but is a flavor of something that is hot. Earl
What?
Grey
Oh,
tea.
when you said hot, I was imagining spicy. Like
Yeah.
coming in
It's like
coming
a
in
big
hot,
red-
I always imagine it's like a
Hot as
spicy take.
temperature. Yeah,
Grapefruit.
Earl Grey grapefruit, which I never put those two things together, but yeah, the cookie with a little grapefruit jelly inside it. I don't know. Looks pretty good. Made by
Sorry, viewer.
CW Chungwoo. Looks pretty simple. Good quality, it says on the front.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of Korean in the tiny bits that I don't really know what it says. The middle word says cookie soke and 얼굴에 이장몽, and the first word is 부드러운. 부드러운? I don't know what that is.
Interestingly, I have two of the same thing, but different packages.
Oh wait, no, I have that too. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Here's the other package.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
Earl
Who knew?
Grey
Earl
is
Grey.
a fine tea.
Do you like-
Grapefruit
yeah, I
is
like-
a fine flavor.
And then when it comes out, it kind of looks
Yeah.
like a biscuit.
This would
Like,
imply like a jelly filling. So
It's like
Yeah,
Newton's.
it does.
Big
kinda-
Newton.
the old
And it's got
fig-
little,
figgy
little black tea particles in it. So
Smells like a fig Newton.
got little,
black tea in your area.
But tea in your area.
I don't like that I looked at it first because that doesn't look great.
That looks expired.
It tastes like a fig Newton, kind of
kind of.
like a grapefruit fig Newton.
The grapefruit's more authentic than I expected it to be. Like-
Yeah.
I like that.
Like it's not overly sweet, like ruby red grapefruit.
Nathan, when does this expire?
I don't know. I gave it to one of you.
I don't have it on my package.
Give me a second.
No, I think it's good. It's a soft biscuit, so it definitely tastes like a fig Newton.
And there's a
Texture-wise,
tea
almost-
flavor,
almost
like
perfectly.
a bitter tea flavor in there too.
Yeah, it's
We're
nice.
good. Doesn't expire till March 6th, 23.
Heyo. Yeah, it's nice.
It is nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I feel
The
like I
tea-
should have it with some Earl Grey tea.
The tea flavor really comes through in a nice way. I was surprised at that. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I eat Earl Grey things. I'm like, what even is this flavor?
Yeah.
It's not a real thing, but this is nice.
It's subtle.
I put this whole thing in my mouth, no problem.
That one's
That's
much
true.
easier than the last snack for sure. I will give you that.
Okay, this is about
So
the
one bite.
same size.
It's
They're not at all the
it's
same
not
size.
the same size.
It's the same size, viewer.
It's
This
at
is-
least the
Hey,
other one was
listener.
80% bigger.
80% bigger?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Don't lie
I was
to
going to
people.
say it's about a difference of a third.
That's like 33%.
So
80%.
yeah. Okay.
I don't know how to math.
I don't
Whatever. Jump into ratings. Patrick, you go first as our resident math expert.
I'm giving this one an 80%, aka 4 out of 5. I think it's really good. I don't know what would make it better, but I'm giving it a 4.
It's good round rating. I'll give it a 4 as well. Yeah, I like it. I think I don't know, for some reason I want it a tad sweeter in the center. I'm gonna have to have another one.
Really? Yes, I usually have two. One for the experience and one for the flavor, or vice versa. Well,
I'm gonna
it doesn't
Patrick
matter.
Armstrong it. Watch.
I just did that, and I feel like it was worse.
Oh,
Yikes. I'm gonna give it a 3. I think it's entirely fine. The grapefruit flavor is good, and like it feels like oh my god, my words. It feels genuine, not synthetic. The biscuit is also good, but it's not like overall. It's not like amazing. You know,
Sure.
it's like maybe a high
I
quality
agree
Fig
with that.
Newton, I guess.
I
So
highfalutin Fig Newton.
It's good. Okay, all right. I'm gonna quit. This is the last episode I'm recording in this year.
Fine.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's just not incredible. So 3 out of 5 for me. It's a really solid product, and if somebody liked this, I would not be surprised if they gave it a 5. I just am personally giving it a 3.
Not surprised 5, personal 3.
All right.
Not surprised 5.
443. There we go. You heard it.
You heard it here first on the Janchi Show.
Earl Grey cookies.
All right.
Get some.
The highfalutin Fig Newton.
Well, yeah, like we said at the top of the episode, this is our last episode of 2022. We will be back sometime in January 2023. I don't remember the dates. It's not the first week. It's the week after. So whatever date that translates to, whenever you're listening to this, that's when it's back. And by it, I mean us. We have been the Janchi Show. You can find us at Janchi Show on all of our social media platforms. Head to janchishow.com/support to support the show. But specifically, I would like to shout out, just as a personal holiday gift from you to us. If you just want to share this on your social medias, share this with a friend and just be like, hey, let's listen to this on our road trip, or let's listen to this as we open. Don't listen to this while you open presents. That'd be terrible.
If you do, please send videos.
No, that's awful. But yeah, just share it with a friend. That's an easy way, a simple way to help our show grow, which we would be eternally grateful for. You can send us a message to janchishow@justLikemedia.com or leave us a voicemail at 972-677-8867. That's 972-677-8867.
You can just wish us happy holidays if you want.
Yeah, honestly, that'd be real nice. You can hang out with us in our Facebook group, the Janchi Show After Party. Yeah, or you can message one of us individually. I'm at KJ Rilke, wherever I want to be found on the internet.
I'm N Nowak on Instagram.
And I'm at Patrick in the World, wherever I want to be found on the internet, except one blog that is not me.
Really?
Yeah.
There's
like a white guy
Armstrong
that travels.
Oh, there's a white guy. There's always a white guy.
Always a whitey
stealing
guy.
Your name.
Stole my name that he had first, technically, I think.
But he may or may not be older.
There's a Nathan Nowak somewhere in Michigan or Wisconsin, I think, too. So
how dare he?
Wow.
I know. But he's
exists.
I think he's like 20 or something.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you, listeners and viewers, for your incredible support. For all of you who came to our live show, who have listened faithfully, who have commented, who have shared, sent us messages, come on the show, who have supported us financially. It really does mean the world to us. So thank you so much for an incredible 2022, and we will be back next year. Until then, I forgot to hit the outro. Janchi, heyo! Heyo! That's real yucky.
Yeah, that wasn't good for video.
That's it.
I forgot we were on the video.
I'm just going to screenshot that. And then that's going to be on the Facebook after party.
That should be the artwork for
Yikes.
the thing.